Hi kindergarten, it's me, Miss Belts. Today is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Today we are going to identify a cone. Think about when you've heard the word cone before. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to look at pictures of cones and determine their attributes. Remember, attributes are the way we describe things. Why are we going to do this? Well, it's important to be able to describe a shape by its attributes, the way that it looks and everything that makes it up. So let's get started. Today we have a couple vocabulary words. The first one we have is 3D solids. This is a review word. We've seen it a couple of times now. Remember, a 3D solid is a figure that is made up of different shapes and it stands up. The next one we have is cone, and that's the one we're going to talk about today. So a cone is a 3D shape and it has a circle as its base. So the circle is the face of this cone. So it sits on that circle. Sometimes it's upside down. I like to think about an ice cream cone. So here would be the cone and then the yummy ice cream's on top. So a cone is a 3D shape because it has a circle base and it stands up. The next one we have is a review word. It's face. Remember, a face is a flat surface on a 3D shape. Next one is edge. An edge is when two faces come together and they create this line. The next one is a vertex. Remember, a vertex is when three faces come together or two edges come together and it creates these little points or these corners. So, what do you notice about a cone? Turn and talk to somebody. What do you notice about this cone? Turn and talk. Come back to me in 3, 2, 1, 0. Eyes and ears on me. Thank you very much. So what's something that you notice about this cone? Somebody tell me something. Ooh, yeah, I agree. This one is orange and this one is blue. But remember, for math, we don't always have to talk about the color. I want to know about the shape. So what do you notice about the shape of this cone? Ooh, I agree. There is a circle on the cone. What else do you notice? Oh, I agree. It comes to a point down here. So there's a circle face and it comes to a point. So let's look at the actual faces, edges, and vertices of a cone. So today we're going to look at the cone. So let's look at the shape. So this is what a cone looks like. And we want to look at the faces. So if I click face, it then changes the color. So I see this one and I see this one. And I'm going to unfold it so I can actually see it. So when it unfolds, you are able to see that there is a circle face and then there's just this curved surface. So a cone only actually has one face that is the shape of a circle. So like we've been doing all week, let's go ahead and fill in our anchor chart. So we have our word cone. We have a picture of a cone, and we just learned that a cone has one face. Now let's look at how many edges a cone has. Now let's look at the edges of a cone. So remember, the edge is where two faces come together. Well, we only have one face for a cone, so that means that a cone does not have any edges. So now let's look at So if we want to fill in our edges, we know that a cone has one face and it has 0 edges. So let's go ahead and see about the vertices. Now for the vertice of a cone, usually that means that you have to have faces that come together and edges that come together. But do you see how there's this little bitty point right up here at the top? Well, that actually is a vertice for a cone. It's a special kind of vertice, but a cone does have one vertice. That's interesting, right? It only has one vertice, and it's a special kind of vertice. But a cone has one face, 0 edges, and one vertice. Let's look at some examples that we see all over the place at home and at school and just in everyday life. So here are some examples that I could think of. Can you think of other ones? I bet you can. So I know that a party hat is an example of a cone, and I've seen a traffic cone before. And my favorite type of cone is an ice cream cone. So you'll notice on this ice cream cone, it's a little bit different than this one, but it's just because it's flipped upside down. So for this one, the circle part's up here and the point's down here, the vertices down here. For the traffic cone, the circle is here and the point is here. And the same thing for the party hat. The circle is here and the point or the vertice is up here. So let's fill in our our anchor chart. So I know that a cone has one face, 0 edges, one vertice, and a real world example could be a party hat. So before we go, what 2D shape do you see in a cone? This one's a little tricky, but what shape is down at the bottom? What shape do we see? Do we see a triangle or do we see a circle? What shape do we see? That's right, we see a circle. So it kind of looks like this is a triangle, but it's really not, because remember, that's that curved surface. So the only 2D shape we see in a cone is a circle. Let's review what we talked about today. Today we identified a cone. We looked at pictures of cones and determined their attributes. And we did this because it's important to be able to describe a shape by its attributes. Just like we've been doing all week long, today you are going to sort these 8 objects for me, and you're going to decide if they're going to be a cone or if they are not a cone. So if you're at school, you can have this piece of paper and you're going to cut, sort, and glue the shapes into the different category. So all the cones go over here, and if it's not a cone, it goes over here. If you're at home and you do not have this piece of paper, you are able to drag and drop the actual object. So just hold onto it and drag it to the category that you want. When you're done, make sure you take a picture and upload it to Google Classroom. If you have any questions, ask your teacher, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.